Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope, Louisville's only live TV sports talk show. I'm your host, Greg Brom, and we're on till 11:30, so you have 30 minutes to give us a call, 964-2121, the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. So get on those phone lines quickly, and we'll get you on the air. Joining me tonight are the two new hosts of the Inside the Press Box on Mondays through Friday, 5 to 7 on 1450 WQKC. Nick Coffey from CardinalConnect.com and Stuart Hammer from Kentucky Sports Radio. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining me.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Hey, tell us about the new show real quick. 5 to 7, Monday through Friday. You're a U of L guy. You're a UK guy, so it should be interesting.
That's the thing. And we're hoping that it's going to be interesting, and hopefully we can keep it, I guess, not heated. We'll go back and forth on a lot of topics.
Oh, we can get heated at times.
Yeah, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. So entertainment could be the biggest thing here, I guess.
I tell you what, you got to be better than that last guy who hosted that 5 to 6 hour. He was not very good at all. So it's a very low bar to exceed. But thanks for joining us. And let's talk about LeBron first of all, before we get into some Louisville, Kentucky stuff. When's his crown? The king is crowned.
Finally.
He gets his title. He gets his ring. I want you to grade his performance, Nick, during the playoffs.
I would say an A. He for the first time, he actually showed leadership, and he was accountable at all, and he showed a lot of class. And a lot of people, I'm not a big LeBron fan, it's pretty obvious, but I think it was, in a weird way, I was kind of happy for him because he deserved it. He deserved his ring. He did. I think it would have meant more had he stayed in Cleveland and got it that way. But he took his lumps last year, and he won it with class this year. And I think there was no doubt about it. He's the best player on the planet now.
Well, I tell you what, I think that he became more likable.
Sure.
I think I was rooting for LeBron a little bit more than I would have been in the past. I felt sorry for him for what happened in the finals against Dallas last year, where he just folded and went and hid in a corner, it seemed like. This time, Game 6 especially against the Celtics, came out with 45. Defining moment for him, I think.
That performance is probably one of the bigger NBA performances I've seen in my lifetime. That was the turning point where I realized, okay, this isn't the same guy we saw last year. And I've heard a lot of people this week talk about he played the villain role a little bit last year and just kind of ran with that and would make had some remarks on Twitter to the going below the belt towards Cleveland and their owner, and how they had that awful relationship. But he didn't really do that this past week and in the later rounds of the playoffs. He won with class, and I'm not a fan, but I do have a lot more respect for him than I did.
Hey, Stuart, LeBron, when he signed with the Heat, he said not 2, not 3, not 5, not 6, not 7. He's got 1 now. Can he live up to some of that proclamation?
Well, the New York Post sort of bashed him. The headline was on their newspaper: 1 down, 7 to go. They went there and they did it. So hopefully, hope for the best. I will say, though, as a person who does not watch the NBA, I'm happy that it's over.
So you can talk about the NBA draft.
Yes, the NBA draft.
The Kentucky Invitational selection show coming up this week. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the show. Now that LeBron has his title, and you know what, John Calipari has his title. 2 guys that had the monkey on their back. They got the monkey off their back. Who in sports has the most pressure on them to win? And I had Nick and Stuart and myself, we made up a list of the people we thought had the most pressure to win now. And let's throw Nick's list up there if we could. We had some different ideas, actually, and came up with some people who've got some pressure on them. But Nick's list right here. Nick, John L. Smith at Arkansas, he actually does have a lot of pressure because Arkansas is expecting 11. I think he has to go 11-1 to keep his job.
Well, that's the thing. Even if he does that, you got to wonder if they would go long term to keep him there. But I think there's a lot of pressure in that situation because this is as good as that team, that program's been in a long time. He's been there. He's not just some guy taking over. He's been there for the last couple of years. He knows the players. He knows the system. So I think he's got a lot of pressure if he wants to. If it's something that's even, I'm sure, even although he's getting older, I'm sure in the back of his mind he wouldn't mind staying around for a few years there at Arkansas, not just that one, I guess, interim basis.
Absolutely. And you have Carmelo Anthony, and I think Stuart had him on his list when we get to it as well in the NBA, which I think they have more than one more piece.
Sure.
That they need on that list. Rick Barnes is interesting on your list there, Nick. He's always has a ton of talent. He's only been to one Final Four. It's probably about time that he gets back.
And I put him on the list, and I don't know if pressure is the biggest, the most correct word for that situation, but because in Texas, I guess football is way bigger than basketball. Yeah. But he's had a lot of high expectations in the last, since he's been there. They've had really good teams that just seem to kind of flame out, and I think he's one of the most overrated coaches in the country. He gets a lot of talent, he gets a lot of players, and it just never works out. And I feel like sometimes I'm the only person that notices that. Nobody makes, and it is
because nobody cares.
I guess that's what it is.
About Texas basketball.
I guess Texas football is what it's all about.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Stewart's list. The people in sports with the most pressure on them. If we get Stewart's list up there, and he had Carmelo Anthony as well. Josh Hamilton, Texas Rangers, and the funny thing about that, they're a great team. I mean, they were within one strike twice last year of winning the World Series, but they probably do need to get back and finally get one.
Well, back-to-back World Series. Josh Hamilton, he's had 4 straight MVP seasons, All-Star seasons. He's sort of the leader on that team, and they've got a great team. They've unfortunately unloaded some pitching, but they've still got a great team. Ron Washington's a great manager, and having to be as close as they were, and with this team that they have, I think they have a lot of pressure, and Josh Hamilton's sort of the leader of that.
And you had Carmelo Anthony as well. Michael Vick, interesting choice. The Eagles were kind of the dream team of football supposedly last year. Andy Reid has pressure on him too. I mean, do you think Vick can even get it done though? I mean, does he have it in him to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback?
It's tough. He's 31 years old. So he's probably past his prime, but of course you look at his stats, he had 2 of his best seasons last season, 2 seasons ago, 2010, 2011.
He had a great
threw
year.
for over 3,000 yards both seasons. So it's some of his best years he's had. So, if they build a team around him, they could do it, I think.
All right, let's my list, and I had a football, and I had one of your teams. I had Texas Rangers, because I think one strike away, being the 2 straight World Series and losing out. I got Tiger Woods.
That's a good
top
pick.
of my list.
That's a good one.
I really, that is the most compelling, one of the most compelling stories, I think, 4 times a year is watching him in the majors. Can he win another major, let alone catch Jack Nicklaus? I think it captures the attention of the casual sports fan for sure. Texas Rangers. I think the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Flacco in particular probably is the quarterback of the Ravens, but man, they really should have done it. Should have probably beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game, and that window is closing with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and those guys.
They're getting older. I would have not had that on the list, but it makes a lot of sense, and I totally agree. I think that's the last 3 years they've had the talent there, the pieces there, and they can't seem to get it done. And Big Ben's just kind of, I guess, in the postseason has kind of had their number.
Okay, a local edition too. Local edition. Let's go local.
Yeah, local.
Do you think? And I actually think that maybe Rick Pitino has more pressure to win this year than even Joker does.
Sure,
because
absolutely.
I mean, Joker, it's kind of the Texas theory. They don't care that much about football. Mm-hmm. So Joker, I mean, he's got pressure to keep his job, but Rick, man, that window is now, it seems like, to win a title.
Absolutely, because I think 3-4 years, 2016, I believe, is what his contract goes through. Who really knows how long he's going to be here? I think every year you're going to hear the talk, okay, I'm going to go back to Miami and take a vacation, and everybody just wants to hear and be sure that he's going to stay. But this is he has more talent now, I think, than he's had since he's been at Louisville.
This is his best team he's
Absolutely,
had.
and there's no better. I mean, I don't think college basketball is going to be down next year, but Louisville is easily top 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Final Four is the expectation for sure.
I think if they don't make the Final Four, you hear a lot of upset fans.
All right, we want to hear from you. Who has the most pressure on them to win now in sports? 964-2121. This is the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope.
Pimp out your ride at Smart Shoppers, 4200 Produce Road. That's Smart Shoppers, 4200 Produce Road to pimp out your ride. They are open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They are the largest car audio dealer in the city of Louisville. No better place for paint or body work in the city than Smart Shoppers. You need rims, stereos, amps, paint, anything you need. Call 964-6652 or go to smartshoppers.com. That's Smart Shoppers, 964-6652.
Ready for some kickin' chicken? Rally's flavor-loaded boxes. Try our new spicy chicken bites. Juicy white meat kicked up with cayenne pepper. Or Rally's original fun and poppable chicken bites. Both loaded with seasoned fries. Spicy or original box for just $2 unbeatable bucks. Now that's a kick. Rally's, feast on. Do late night right. Satisfy all of your cravings at Rally's.
Don't let computer problems frustrate you, whether it's pop-ups, a virus, hardware or software problem, or troubleshooting any computer problems. Simply call Igloo On-Site Computer Repair. Igloo's highly professional, experienced technicians will come to your home or business and put an end to your computer problems at a third the cost of most competitors. Call now, 2 On-Site. That's area code 502-266-7483. Igloo On-Site Computer Repair.
Welcome back. Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope. Our number 964-2121. Give us a call. Who is under the most pressure in sports to win? Greg Brom, joined by the new host of Inside the Press Box, 5 to 7, every weekday on 1450 The Sports Buzz. Nick Coffey from CardinalConnect.com. Stuart Hammer from Kentucky Sports Radio. What a mismatch we have right here. But we want to hear from you, and we have on the line my man PD is up.
Hey, how's it going, Greg?
Hey, man. Who's under the most pressure to win?
Y'all said something about it before the break, that Joker and Rick Pitino for sure, him and in his career. But one person that y'all never had was Steve Nash. He's like one of the only few two-time MVPs to not get a title yet. And he's an unrestricted free agent, so I'd like to see him, what he can do with Miami. But thanks for having me on the show. Love your show, guys.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. When you're under pressure to win, go to Miami. Go to Miami and join the rest of the stars.
And work for
and you're in good shape. Charlie Strong is another one that you wouldn't think is under a lot of pressure to win, but I kind of think he is for this reason. Louisville wants to get in another conference. And the opportunity to, I think they're much more attractive if they can go to a BCS bowl game.
Sure.
And these next 2 years are going to have great teams. I almost think there is a little pressure just for the future of the university's athletic program on Charlie Strong.
There's absolutely a lot of pressure, and I think he had his first 2 years, he thought he had more talent and a better team than he probably led to believe, but he probably loved seeing people pick Louisville to finish, 8th or 7th in the league because there's no expectations, there's no pressure. You're inheriting a program that was at the lowest it's been in a long time, and now the expectation is there because not only I think their expectation to win a lot of games it's not because they have a whole lot of talent, which they do. It's because they play in a weaker league that doesn't have great teams, and now there's no reason why they shouldn't win 9 games.
Our expectations too high.
I say, Charlie Strong thinks there's a lot of expectations, and he's told the fans, to sort of calm down.
I agree with
him. He's come
that.
out and said, the rivalry is one thing. There's a lot of fans on Twitter who talk a lot of trash, and even the players are getting involved. But as far as reasonable expectations in the Big East, they should win. If they stumble like they did last year with FIU and Marshall.
I don't like that Southern Miss game. I'm telling you. I don't like
that.
Saturday night at Hattiesburg. Ooh, I don't like it.
And there's not a team on Louisville's schedule that they can't beat. But there's a few teams on the schedule that I think is going to give Louisville, could give them some trouble. I think the expectations to have a great season and have a lot of success and win the Big East is okay. But I think for some people just expect Louisville to just run over everybody. Yeah. I don't think that's very accurate.
All right, let's go to Austin on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line.
Hello, guys. I wanted to put in some of my own input. I'd like to say that the University of Kentucky basketball team has the most pressure on them. And I think it's the entire team as a whole. Coach Cal always has a whole lot of pressure on him just because, he won the national championship last year. Now, how is it going to feel for all the new guys coming in and everything else? They're obviously going to have the weight of the entire nation on their backs because, they have to live up to the expectation and live up to the whole, state of Kentucky that they have to win another championship. And that's why I think, the whole UK basketball, their whole organization, I think that's why they have the most pressure.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, you know what? I kind of disagree with Austin though, because I think I think Kentucky fans are not nearly on edge as much now. They got their title. They're okay if you don't. They're okay if you have a bad year, I think, this year. I think Noel might have pressure, though. Nerlens.
Well, Noel's
following in Davis's footsteps.
He's going to have a lot of pressure, but Mr. Smith, I know who you are, so thanks for the call. But Nerlens Noel.
Call 5 to 7 tomorrow at the radio show.
5 to 7, that's right. Yeah, you can call in and we'll take it. But yeah, Nerlens Noel. But he's living up to the hype. He knows what his expectations are. He's on Twitter all the time.
He's living up to the hype. He hasn't done anything yet.
Well,
how's he living up to his Kentucky?
He's
living
ready.
up to the hype is getting on Twitter.
For the hype. He's ready for the hype.
Oh, okay. I'm just kidding.
He knows. He knows the expectations.
I'm getting ready for Nick tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Kentucky as a program, there's always high expectations. There's probably higher expectations than any other program.
Yeah.
But getting a national championship takes the pressure off. The high expectations are always going to be there, but not to win a championship every year.
Realistically, the only place to go is down. I mean, not to be a negative Nancy.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, now they can almost play with no pressure. They might get back just because now you're just totally freewheeling it. You know, what was house money? They're playing with house money now. That was the Louisville term for the Final Four.
And it's just the exact opposite with Louisville's basketball program because now they have the high expectations and there's no better year to try to get that
the pressure just moved 70 miles west.
Exactly.
That's where it went, and I think it is a little bit on. It's not really. I mean, Rick really took a lot of heat off of him by getting to that Final Four.
Oh, sure.
So, but you want to win it again. This is the team.
Absolutely.
Is the team, yeah.
This is the team. Speaking of that team, Rakeem Buckles transferring to FIU. Mm-hmm. And I believe it was his decision. I really do think it was his decision to go, even though, you know, he was a guy I always felt with 2 injuries. I saw the effects, I think, on the court from the first one. That he would have had trouble, I think, being a really big contributor in a couple years. But look at this team. Van Treese gone. Swap gone. Buckles gone.
Justice gone.
The departures, good, bad, or no effect at all?
Right now, I don't think much of an effect. It is kind of bizarre that 2-3 weeks ago we thought, how are they going to fit all these guys? They've got no scholarships and all these people coming in, and now they're 2 underneath the limit. They have 2 available scholarships, and Terry Rozier, if he qualifies, he'll take one of those scholarships. But Buckles leaving is the change that made the most sense, and I think we expected that to happen regardless if they brought any other players in or not. Just because when Richard Pitino got the job at FIU, Buckles is from the area. He's played for Mark Lieberman who was an assistant that went with Pitino to FIU. It was Buckles' high school coach in Miami. So it made a lot of sense. And from what I understand is that he was approached about that whenever Pitino first got the job, and he said, "No, don't want to do it. I have no interest. I want to stay here." And that was it. It was never mentioned to him again. And then maybe Montrezl Harrell, winning the gold medal with 1800 team, and him realizing that, hey, this guy's going to be a sophomore by the time I get my last year here. Is this really a great place for me to rehab and finish my career? And it makes a lot of sense, and I think both sides are going to benefit greatly from that.
Yeah, which departure, though, hurts the most, you think, Stuart, of any? And I'm going to throw Richard Pitino in. I think actually Richard Pitino hurts the most.
Well, honestly, Richard Pitino is probably the biggest loss they took this whole offseason.
I agree.
But I mean, the players leaving it only makes the team better, really. I mean, they're losing a lot of extra weight. They're getting some scholarships back, and they gained Montrezl Harrell, who's definitely a better player than all these players.
And as bizarre as it sounds, I actually think that SVT out of Swapshire, Ventry, and Buckles, I think he would have been a good guy to come off the bench, just be kind of your garbage man. But
everybody needs one.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, give us a call. What do you think about Buckles leaving, and does it hurt? Do these departures hurt Louisville, or no effect at all? And I kind of agree with Nick. I don't think it's much of an effect at all. We won't even notice it once the season starts, I don't believe. 964-2121, Oxmoor, Ford, Lincoln, Buzzline. Give us a call. The Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Samsung.
Hi, I'm Jim Weeks. At MaxCare, no project is too big. We have the capabilities to handle the smallest residential project to the largest commercial undertaking. We even clean big houses like this one. And everyone has been abuzz about our amazing 4 areas for $99 special. We want to let everyone know that MaxCare also cleans upholstery, ceramic tile, and air ducts. We also install and refinish hardwood floors dust-free. MaxCare, locally owned and family operated. Give us a call, 636-4629.
The landscape of sports talk radio in Kentuckiana has changed in a big way. 1450 The Sports Buzz has the perfect blend of local shows and Patrick in the mornings, and Yahoo Sports Radio, The Freak Show with John Renshaw, has made its triumphant return from 3 to 5 p.m. The afternoon Sports Buzz makes that drive home easier from 5 until 6 with Greg Brom, Rob Jones, Trevor Kelsey, and a slew of others. 1450 The Sports Buzz also has you covered with the biggest high school, college, and pro games every week. Sick of the same old watered-down sports talk? Look no further than 1450 The Sports Buzz.
Ready for some kickin' chicken? Rally's flavor-loaded boxes. Try our new spicy chicken bites. Juicy white meat kicked up with cayenne pepper. Or Rally's original fun and poppable chicken bites. Both loaded with seasoned fries. Spicy or original box for just $2 unbeatable bucks. Now that's a kick. Rally's, feast on. Do late night right. Satisfy all of your cravings at Rally's.
Every year, thousands of auto accident victims end up in the ER. If you're one of them, you may need more than emergency care. You need someone to answer medical questions and to help with lost wages and follow-up treatment. Call 1-800-ASK-GARY. 1-800-ASK-GARY is a free helpline. For almost 10 years, they've been finding doctors to treat your injuries and helping you recover lost wages. If you get in an accident, don't wait. Just like the ER, Ask Gary is open 24/7. Call 1-800-ASK-GARY.
I thought all cleaning services were the same until Molly made my carpets fresh, until Molly made my bathroom glow, until Molly made my kitchen shine. I thought all cleaning services were too expensive until Molly made my day. Now, meet the cleaning professionals that work as hard as you do. Call this toll-free number for your free in-home consultation and customized estimate. Wow, Molly Maid was here.
We've got full phone lines here on the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope, Greg Brum, Nick Coffey, Stuart Hammond. They're the new host of Inside the Press Box 1450. The Sports Buzz, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. So make sure you give them a listen. This Thursday, we're going to be out at BJ's on Dixie, the Handsome Jimmy Showdown. Who is the real Handsome Jimmy? I want to find out because Handsome Jimmy Valiant said he's coming to and taking Louisville away from this imposter. Handsome, calls himself Handsome Jimmy, who's been on this show before.
So there'll be a lot of handsome people out there.
A lot of handsome people. Okay, let's go to on the Osmo Ford Lincoln Buzz line, Charlie.
Hey, Greg, Charlie Johnson, how you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
Charlie. Hey, buddy.
Hey, you talk about the real Handsome Jimmy Valiant. Do you get him on TV or get him on the radio? He's going to put on a show.
He'll be there Thursday at BJ's. The real Handsome Jimmy Valiant coming to town, take on our Handsome Jimmy.
I'm going to see the real Handsome Jimmy Valiant. I used to see him when he used to wrestle. That's how old I am. Anyway, I'm going to give you guys a what if. Joker's obviously on the hot seat. What if Kentucky hires Bobby Petrino? What if Bobby brings Jeff Brom with him? And what if he keeps Mike Cassidy as defensive coordinator? How hot would that make the state rivalry?
I tell you what, that would liven up. You'd care about football then, wouldn't you, Stuart?
I might have to watch
You'd
it.
actually write an article on KSR about football.
No, I write a few.
Do you?
They're not exactly the most positive. I mean, I'm kind of realist about it all.
Okay.
That would never happen.
1 year. Why 1 year? Okay, all right, let's say Joker's not the coach. Yeah. There's going to be a clamor. If it's not Bobby Petrino, it's Mike Leach. I mean, he has baggage too. Who else you even want of those two?
Well,
those are the two.
It is a tough decision because I mean,
those
a lot
are
of
the
fans.
Two guys.
Yeah, a lot of fans. You know, they want Joker out, but you don't really have a better option right now. So Petrino, I don't think would ever happen.
Why?
Because Mitch Barnhart pretty much hates Bobby.
They have
Petrino.
He hates John Calipari though.
You probably know more about it, Greg. But for some reason, Petrino and the administration staff at UK have like the worst relationship ever, and I don't know what it stems from.
But not taking.
Now, Mike Leach, I would like Mike Leach.
I don't buy that Kentucky's not an attractive job. It's in the SEC. You don't have the greatest recruiting. There's not a whole lot of great recruits in this state. Of course, there is now, but it's, traditionally it's not.
Yeah.
But it could be. It's not just a job you can't win at and have success.
And there's no pressure.
And your guy Matt Jones, and he brought this up. He's brought it up a couple of times that as bad as Kentucky you think they may have been, or as underachieving as maybe they've been the last couple of years, if they'd have beat the Mississippi schools,
yeah,
They won the
They
SEC
would
East.
have won the SEC East, so
It's unreal.
they're not that far away. Terry, you're up.
Yes. How you doing?
Good. It's good to hear from you.
It's good to be heard from. Hey, I got as far as Patino, I think you're right. Now, as far as Buckles, I have to agree with the other guy. I think Britcher is the one that we tend to lose the most. And then the guy in the nice blue shirt, I have a couple questions for him.
He
First
always
of all,
snazzy dresser over here. Nick.
why in the state of Kentucky, UK has to keep forcing everybody to be UK fans? I don't understand it. Ask him, does he not know there's other schools in the state of Kentucky? And, I mean,
Well,
what is it?
You tell him, Terry Stewart. She's talking to you, I believe. Even though she pointed out you have a nice blue shirt on.
Well,
It's blue. It's not nice,
I don't
but
really
it's
know
blue.
how to answer that question.
Why are you guys trying to make everybody be Kentucky fans?
Because they're the best school. They're the best school in the state, obviously.
Oh, I love it, Terry. I love it. Love it. Call their show. 5 to 7, Monday
We'd
through
love to hear
Friday.
from you, Terry.
All right, let's go to the mayor. Hey, Mayor.
Gentlemen, good to hear you tonight or see you tonight. Hey, one thing, Terry, I'll have to tell you this. There are some things that happen in this state, and one would be power lines. Another one, there's probably some nuclear waste laying around. So a lot of people that grow up under power lines hit their head a lot as kids. They wind up being Kentucky fans, and that's probably what happened to most of the state. So it's not something that you have to do, but when there's something weird that goes on in your body, especially with the electronics, that sets you adrift. So maybe that'll answer a question. But you talked about who had most pressure to win in the or this coming year. I think, and you guys started talking about it, that Handsome Jimmy thing this week. I think Handsome Jimmy, our Louisville Handsome Jimmy, got some pressure.
This is a loser leave town match, I believe. Loser leave town.
To win whatever they're doing. I don't know what the kind of competition, but hey, and as far as about or the Louisville players kind of moving out, moving along, it's I think it's a residual of 3 poor years of recruiting that went on here, and it's a shame for these guys if they were sent out and didn't want to go. But I think at the end of the day, there wasn't a lot of stuff going on around here with recruiting. And I think the rosters reflected that, and finally now you make a run to the Final Four, which is obviously what guys like myself who have been complaining about not being in the Final Four. It obviously helps you build the program, keeps you relevant, and that's when you start getting good recruits, and that's the way it goes.
Okay.
It's
Hey,
unfortunate.
Mayor. Hey, thanks, buddy. We gotta let you go. We're almost out of time. Definitely call Nick and Stuart. Good luck on the show, guys.
Thank you.
I'll be listening. I'll call in occasionally, give you some grief. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, appreciate it, Greg.
Okay. Well.